Should your friends or family members take on the role of being your counselor or therapist or coach? In a nutshell, the answer is no. And I'm actually going to give you 3 good reasons why you don't want to do this. Reason number 1 is because it's not their responsibility. Now, that might sound a little bit harsh, and I don't mean it that way. But for everybody that's in our life, for the relationships we have, we are all playing different roles with each other. And the role of a professional therapist or counselor or coach is not one of them that they signed up for in becoming your family member or your friend. They're not equipped to handle that. And so it's not going to end well. People will feel taken advantage of or drained. Which leads me to number 2. There's actually terminology for this. We call it compassion fatigue. And this is very important, and especially if you've gone through a big loss or a terrible trauma. You need the support, the love of your friends and family around you, but you need more than that. You need some professional help, some people who are going to help you with the skills and the tools that they have. Now, if you tell the same story over and over again to somebody, it's not that they stop caring. They do not stop caring about you. Your friends and your family still love you, even if they don't want to hear the story. This is so important, please understand. Psychologically, they cannot handle the responsibility given to them of hearing the story repeatedly. Now, people who are actually in the field, who do this for a living, they're trained in knowing how to handle this. Your friends and family likely do not have that training. And they will burn out. They will tire of the story. They just cannot handle to hear it one more time. And they may tell you that. And it's probably very hard for them to tell you that because they don't want to appear selfish or cruel, because they genuinely do care. But it's beyond what they're able to do for you. So this is a very real thing, compassion fatigue. The third reason is because sometimes, you know what, they don't know what to tell you, and they give you bad advice that sometimes makes the situation worse. You know, one of the most ancient examples of this is the account of Job, who had lost everything. He lost everything. He lost all his children in a windstorm. He ended up with boils all over his body. Now, this is an account, a story from ancient times. And he turned to his friends, and they said, well, it appears to me that you must have done something really wrong, and you're being punished for it. That's what's happening. So then he went from looking for support from them to feeling like even worse than what he felt before. How can you feel worse than what you felt before losing all of your kids and everything that you owned and your health and everything? But he did, because he asked the wrong people for support. His friends, I don't think they were trying to make him feel bad. They were looking for solutions. And their solution was, well, must be that God's cursing you, right? So then he turned to his wife, and she said, yeah, I agree. Must be that, God is spiting you. So just curse him and die. Wow, what great comforting, soothing words. So this is, I believe all things are written and accounted for our benefit, to learn some small truth from it, at least. And what I've learned from this is that you cannot expect your friends and your family to necessarily understand your situation that you're going through, especially if it's really traumatic, and that they may give you advice that makes it worse. Okay, so that's only fair. They're not trained to know how to help you, and it's not necessarily because they're trying to be terrible and cruel to you, but that's the way it might end up feeling. And again, it jeopardizes that relationship. So when it comes to advice, seeking professional advice, I can't guarantee you that won't be bad advice either. I'm just going to be 100% honest with you. I have known some therapists and counselors who gave terrible, terrible advice, like don't question your thoughts and things like that, okay? So you need to find the right fit for you, and this is also going to be your responsibility. Find the right counselor for you. If you are a critical thinker, and if you're watching this, you probably are, because these are the only people that I actually work with, are critical thinking, analytical people who want answers and solutions. If that's who you are, then I am convinced that critical thinkers need to have higher level counseling. They need to have somebody who's also a critical thinker that has been through some things that they've healed from, that they have skills and tools where they're not still spiraling down into the muck all the time, right? So they can bring you up out of it. So critical thinkers tend to overthink things, and they can really get themselves in a lot of emotional turmoil, have a lack of peace of mind, just it never stops. and go to a worst case scenario, black and white thinking. There's several different symptoms, if you will, that critical thinkers have that they need help out of, regardless of what their situation is. But the harder, the darker, the deeper the hurt and the trauma, or the longer you've had it, the more skilled I feel that your counselor or your coach or your therapist needs to be. So those are some things for you to think about. Now, if you feel I'm the right fit for you, feel free to reach out. It's very easy to do that. Send me an email. But maybe I am, maybe I'm not. And what happens if you can't afford any counseling? That's another question that I get. You can, read books. You can. Before I actually took a lot of my education, I read books and read books when I didn't have the funds to help myself, or there were free different counseling groups through the government, through various circles, through various groups. We have more support now than what we've ever had. When I first began my journey into this in the 90s, there wasn't a lot of support in helping people, especially not critical thinkers. So self-reflection, journaling, getting out of your head, getting it onto paper can help. I believe that pets are very healing, and an animal actually has endless compassion. Your dog and your cat will never complain about the amount of times you cry on them. And that love and compassion coming back to you is very healing as well. So I would encourage you, though, to do what you can to invest in yourself. Invest in yourself, get the help that you need in one way or another, and honor yourself. If you end up with a counselor or a coach that isn't the right fit for you, honor yourself enough to get out of that and to choose something different. Honor your friends and your family by allowing them to just be that. Your friends and your family, hug them, love them, let them support you in the capacities that are appropriate. And as always, I am wishing you the very best. Please reach out if you feel that I can help you, and I'm wishing you a beautiful day.